We are talking today about when to bring up topics like sexual dysfunction when you're dating. Adriana wrote this in the Your Last First Date group this week, and it created quite a stir and quite a conversation. Her question was, is there a way to find out early on if a guy has any erectile problems? As I enter another decade, I find myself connecting online with men in their late 50s, early 60s. I know some ladies in this group have indicated they have opportunities to date 10 to 15 years younger, but I haven't found that to be true in my case. I don't want to become intimate earlier than I feel comfortable just for investigative reasons. I also am pretty sure I wouldn't want to start a relationship with someone who cannot have intercourse. I understand things change in time, but for starters, I would like the real thing. This may be too much information, but it's an important issue as we age. So obviously, you're not going to share this kind of information when you first get to know someone. Hey, does everything work down there? You're not going to ask that. That's totally not okay. And you wouldn't want to share stuff about your illnesses, about your deepest, darkest past when you just get to know somebody either. So I feel it's kind of the same thing. The more we get to know someone, the more we like them, the more we're okay with whatever shows up. And so somebody who is not able to, let's say, have intercourse without maybe Viagra, that's something that if you really cared for that person and you've already been involved, you might be okay with that, but not before you really got to know them. There was a client of mine who dated somebody for probably 7 years, 6 or 7 years, and they were never able to actually have intercourse, but they really had a great sex life. And there are couples who have an amazing sex life without consummating intercourse. There's a lot of ways that people can be happy together sexually. So that's one thing. But the other thing is that we can't always help what's going on with us sexually. And as women age, they also have tons of issues. And if you flip this around, would you want to disclose to a man that maybe you had a hysterectomy, maybe your vagina is shorter than it used to be, maybe you have pain with intercourse, maybe you have vaginal dryness? I mean, like, you wouldn't share these things with a man as you're getting to know him. If you were building trust and building a relationship, that would be a good time to have that conversation. So, this isn't about being dysfunctional. This is about some things that happen to some people. Some people on medication aren't able to have an erection. I know for some antidepressants, they create issues with erection. So, it's not about finding somebody 10 to 15 years younger. There are people in their 70s who are still very sexually active, and there are people in their 40s who are still already having problems. So it's not like you can find out the end of the book before you read the book. It's like how some people want to get to the end of the book before they even start the book. They want to see the last page because they want to know how it ends. I mean, that's what this is like to me. You can't, it ruins the whole book to me if I would read the end and find out, who done it. It's the whole part of the beauty of dating and getting to know someone is unfolding and unveiling things slowly over time, building a relationship, building love, building trust. And when you have that, you're much more forgiving of things that you thought were really important. There are people who are in a relationship and suddenly they get sick and they can't have sex. There are people who temporarily can't have sex. So, it's not the only thing in a relationship. To me, it's more important that you have intimacy in other ways, that you feel a sense of trust and belonging and love with this person, and you have attraction, and you both have a similar sex drive. That's really important in compatibility. But the actual act of intercourse is not necessarily the most important thing. And I would say it's really becomes less important as we get older. I know some of you are going to disagree with me, but being physical is important, yes. Judging men who can't have intercourse based on erectile dysfunction, no. So I'd love to hear from you. What do you think?